Hello, folks. Welcome to Wildcard Wednesday of August 19, 2020. I'm here in Louisiana, and welcome to our time together.
I'm thinking about this, Mr. Hand. If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
Okay, so it is our time together, and I'm in Louisiana. James P. Madonna is in New Jersey. Beer Man is in Oregon. Bumpy Road is in Michael Crom. I'm trying to go in order. Michael Komaroff's in New York City, New York. He's in Brooklyn, that borough, and Bumpy Road is in New Hampshire. We may have some more people joining. Shout out to Ronald Sutton. I hope he joins, and shout out to Nina Yordi. I hope she joins, and shout out to a whole lot of other people. William Kepley, I hope he joins. I think you and Mike, John, and Illy are probably doing a special broadcast later.
We have not discussed anything, but you never know.
Oh, okay. I know a lot of times y'all do the style, like a style, or even sometimes an actual brand. Okay, well, tonight on Wildcard Wednesday, I have something pretty wild. I just kind of banged the can right before I came on here and dented it, unfortunately, but luckily it's a small dent. I have Delightful. And it is 4.2 Coors Brewing Company. It's 4.2%. It's brewed in, across the United States, I imagine. And it's naturally flavored with lime and raspberry and lime. So this is the last of the 12-pack, thankfully. Now, James has probably something interesting.
Well, I don't have any beer this time because I like to do something different every week. I don't like to be repetitive because somebody threw up to my face that I already reviewed the same thing twice. So therefore, I will not do it. But
what a tragedy! What a tragedy!
Yeah, well, it's a tragedy when they throw things up to your face, or up to your webcam. I have Buchanan's Deluxe established 1884 blended Scotch whiskey, aged 12 years, 40% alcohol. Okay, that's what I brought.
That's a famous one, yeah. Introduced in 1884.
Yeah.
Well, don't feel bad people are saying that, because on this channel you can do the same thing every week if you wanted to. I wouldn't care. Okay, now we're gonna go on to the next person. I'm trying to nail down that feedback noise, but so Beer Man.
I muted myself. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. Hey, thanks, Ron. I appreciate you letting me be here. So I've got Block 15 out of Portland, Oregon. It's the Dark Matter. It's a chocolate porter craft beer. Be checking this out. It's in a pint can. Yeah, it should be good. We'll check it out. See how it goes.
What's the ABV on it?
Oh, sorry. 5%. 5%. So a little lower.
Okay.
Nice sessionable porter. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Michael, I'm sorry. I have trouble following this format. Okay, Michael.
I always go the wrong way. This is from Zywiech, and it's their IPA. Let's see if you can see it. Session IPA.
That's interesting, because I didn't know Zywiech made an IPA. It must be something new.
From Poland, and it's 5%. And I've never had it. I've had their porter, but this is my first time with this, and it was a gift from somebody, but hopefully it'll be good. I didn't know that Poland makes IPAs, but we will see.
Hey, why not, right? Now, Jesse at Bumpy Road.
All right. From The Alchemist out of Stowe, Vermont, I've got Stirk Wit. This is a 7% double Belgian wit.
Nice.
Double Belgian wit. Wow, never heard of that. Well, maybe I have.
What's the ABV, Bumpy?
7%.
Okay, I got it.
Now, Michael, before we go on into the tastings, and we may have people joining, of course, but do you need any other information from anyone?
I'm all set.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to start featuring mine. Okay, so remember, any muting is not done in a malicious manner. It's just done to eliminate background noise or warbling. All right, so this Delightful, I did a solo review, and my friend David and I did a duo review, and we were delighted about it in a way because we thought it was going to be kind of, there's a cute little French bulldog on there. We thought it was going to be dreadful or whatever, you know, but we said, huh, they did a pretty good job with it. And I got a 12-pack for $5.99 on discount, so I figured it wouldn't be too much of a loss, even if it wasn't enjoyable. So it's naturally flavored, but there's no coloring added. So when I pour it, it's going to look like a regular old beer, lager beer. And I'll try to do the comments correctly, but sometimes that doesn't always work out. So you'll notice the appearance is like regular Keystone, straw, bubbly, thick head. So if you saw it poured, you wouldn't think anything of it. But as soon as you crack that can, that's where the cat's out the bag, because you could smell the strong fruit aromas across the room. We were shocked by that when we did the solo review in my kitchen, because we popped the can and then you could smell it. So I've never smelt a beer that was so strong in its fruit flavor. So you get a strong whiff of the raspberry and the lime. Now, I don't know how they get this natural flavor. Is it some kind of maybe dehydrated raspberry and lime, and when they add it at the end, it makes flavor? It could be, but who knows? Could be a syrup, a raspberry and lime syrup, or extract. There's a lot of leeway allowed for flavoring, as long as it's natural. If it's from a chemical compound, it has to be, you know, listed as artificial. So it's a strong fruit flavor, similar to like, and this is not going to appeal to a lot of people, including myself, and really, actually, but there's a flavor, aroma of like Kool-Aid, which I never want to drink in my life. The flavor is mostly Keystone Light, but then, so the aroma is fruit forward, but then the flavor is the Keystone Light forward. It flips, and we were kind of shocked by that too. It flips when you taste it. Then you get fruit flavors in the taste. Then you get your light body, your crisp finish. It's only 4.2% alcohol. I think it's 125 calories. Yeah, 125 calories. It's easy going. I mean, I don't know why people want to drink beer that's fruit flavored with this Keystone raspberry, but they do. So, okay, well, you want to drink it, go ahead. It's nothing offensive about it, or like, you know, like criminal. There's nothing criminal about it, but it's not my thing. I'll say one more thing. When you finish drinking it, the glass will smell like that fruit flavor for hours. It's strange. Anyway, I'm favorable towards it, actually. It's just not my style, but I don't attack a beer if it's not my style. It's poor quality, and I don't think it was poorly put together or anything. They did a fine job. I think they achieved exactly what they were aiming for, so I can't take issue with that. Now James is going to tell us about this blended Scotch whiskey, been on the market 136 years, and I love that whiskey. I think it's a really delicious Scotch, aged 12 years. So go, James, and I'm going to highlight him.
All right, now I shall pour the Buchanan's. Oh, it just about makes
Wow, look at that. Don't drink too much.
Yeah. All right, now. Ah, pleasant smoky aroma. The malt, you can smell it. Very smooth. And I expect it from a Scotch whiskey like this, 12 years. It, you know, I hate to say it, but it reminds me a lot of the Grants. And also Glen Silver, which is another inexpensive small distillery in Scotland. Glen Silver, but it reminds me of both of them. But I've looked at their website in the past, and they definitely have higher end, much longer aged, 18 years and so on, Scotch whiskey. Now, I'm not sure if they have this as single malts, but I'm sure they do, you know, to compete people like Glenlivet. But I like it very much, not as a mixer. As you can see, she's almost topless, the shot glass. So anyway, not as a mixer, but to enjoy the flavor of good quality Scotch. May the bells be with you. You know, people in mysticism ring bells to help clear out evil entities out of buildings. That's one of the reasons why I have so many damn bells. So, anyway, one of the ways. I would definitely get it again if it was gifted to me. You know, I'm not going to pay through the nose for anything because I'll end up just buying Grants. But it's definitely high quality, just like what do you call that again? Oh, it slipped my mind. But when you drink something that you like a lot, like the time I had Wheatley's domestic vodka, and Heaven Hill with the black label, and Paddy's Irish whiskey. When you try something that you really like for various reasons, that tends to stick in your mind. Well balanced of the smokiness and the malt. It's definitely, especially a company that old, they're not going to fail in their products. So I will give this, to be fair to the other Scotches, I'll give it a 95 out of 100 score, to consolidate the review.
95?
Yeah, in case you get 1,001 people in the basement. I just want to, you know.
Right, we talked about that off air, yeah.
Yeah, to save time, to make it easy. 95 out of 100. Buchanan's.
Now, Buchanan's, I will say this. Buchanan's only deals in blended Scotch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they prefer to deal with. And some companies do only blended, some do only single malt, and some do both. You know, it's just up to however they want to handle it. But I love that stuff. And I want to try my friend David bought the Buchanan's Master, which is longer age, but they don't give an age statement. Now, Buchanan's that you're drinking runs about 31 to 35 bucks a bottle. The Master is about 40. The 18-year age, it'll run you about $89 to $90 a bottle. And then there's one called the Red Cap. I think it's Red Cap or Red Shield that'll run you about probably 150. So I haven't run across that one yet. That's a lot of moolah, you know.
It is a lot of moolah, and I noticed the fans of single malt Scotch tend to be they tend to have their own clique. They're single malt people, and like I said off the air many times, the Japanese whiskeys are also very expensive, but I've never had one because I never seen any in a small bottle. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of distilleries, just like in Japan, just like the ones that make sake, and they do have a good array of craft beer. But as far as the Scotch whiskey goes, I guess you don't have to smoke peat moss. You could experiment with other smoke flavors.
Yeah, some scotches are peated and some aren't. It just depends, but I like the ones that are peated. I like that peaty smoke. And what was I going to say? I've had 2 or 3 Japanese whiskeys. I had the Suntory Tokai, and I love that Tokai. And the Japanese were influenced by Scotch, so they try to make their whiskeys taste like Scotch. So that's what their approach is, to try to mimic Scottish whiskey. Okay, now on to the beer man.
Unmute myself. All right. Well, thanks again, Ronald. Appreciate it, man. Cool. So this is definitely I guess it was reading. It's a dry porter. It's with chocolate flavoring added to it. I don't know if it's natural or whatever it is, something chocolatey added to it. Served in a 16-ounce can, 5%. Pretty sesh beer. I love the label. I thought it was pretty cool. Kind of cool. But these guys are out of Corvallis, Washington. Or Oregon, excuse me, not Washington. What was it? 7.9. What? No, I don't know when it was packaged. I can't read it. But let's go ahead and open this up. Nice. About a 2-finger head on the pour. Yeah, we're definitely getting a milk chocolate. There's a milk chocolatey presence in this beer. Very milk chocolatey. Wow. It has a slight bitter, kind of a bitter baker's chocolatey kind of feel to it as well, but it's really dominant. It does have kind of a brown bread smell to the malts and stuff. Very brown bready. Milky smelling. Smells like whole milk or something. I don't know if they added milk sugar or anything to this. I'm not sure. Just went up my nose. Damn. Sorry, a little straw. I have 2 of them. I can really taste that chocolate in my nose. All right, let's go for the look. It's a dark chocolate, very opaque beer, a black beer. It's brown though. It's a dark brown. You see the brown on the bottom, kind of Tootsie Roll brown on the bottom there. No reds or any rubies or anything, just straight up brown. It's got the retention went down because I took in a bunch of it. It was not bad retention though. A nice khaki colored head. About a medium rising bubble. Let's go for the drink. Cheers. It's tangy and kind of a dry finish. Yeah, dry beer. It's got the espresso, got the chocolate, mainly chocolate though, more of a milk chocolate. It is bitter on the finish, around the edges of the tongue, on the palate, on the back of the tongue. You get that bitter kind of feel to it. It's very tangy though, not too fruity. It does have a brown bread taste to the malt, like a crust or something. A very good beer though. You get the you get the chocolate, you get the coffee espresso, there's like a dark caramel involved here as well. A very rich beer for 5%. Man, the mouth feels it's very smooth and creamy. The body is a medium body really for a. I can't believe it. I mean, they really pull it off with a really nice body with a small percentage. So, very, very good, pleasant beer to drink. I'm really going to be enjoying this. Do you want me to give the score right now, or
It's up to you, but I'm going to wait till the end to do my score.
I'll do the way. I'll wait. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. Thanks. Appreciate it. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Okie dokie.
Hello. Here we go. Nice carbonation sound opening the bottle. Here's the pour. Go higher so you can see it. I'm doing one of my specialty foam pours again. I seem to be doing that lately. Okay, it's going to be a little bit of a head, but it will go down. I went a little bit too far on the head. Very active carbonation. I don't know in this light if you can see the bubbles, very heavy bubble stream. It's a little bit on the hazy yellow side, yellow-orange color. The head is very bubbly. Let me see what the nose offers. Well, you're getting the hops on the nose for sure. I'm wondering if that's pretty much it, if I can smell through this. Mostly hops from what I can tell. Maybe some malt sweetness as well. Well, here we go with the taste. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Okay, it is a session IPA, so it's I've drank a lot of IPAs in my time, and this is definitely toned down. But that could be their intention because it's only 5% alcohol. So you're getting a little bit of the hops in the first taste. It's not juicy either, like the New England style. So it's more like a standard IPA. It doesn't have as much flavor as an all-day IPA from Founders, just to give you a quick comparison. So this could be a good starter IPA for somebody who has never had one, because it's not that super hoppy where it's going to turn people off. The bitterness is there, but it's mild. I would guess, I don't know what the IBUs are, maybe 20, maybe 25. But it is an IPA, and it's like I'm saying, it's a little bit watery in the taste. I mean, it's not bad. I got it as a gift, and I definitely would not buy it. Maybe Poland should stick to porters and lagers, but I cannot degrade a company for making an attempt. This one is not anything to write home about. The foaminess, the head tastes good when you drink it, but if that's the best thing in the IPA, that's not good. I will have a score for you later.
Polish IPAs. I've got an American Belgian style double wit. This one is Stark Wit. It's from The Alchemist, 7% ABV. And with that pour, it's got kind of a medium bubbled white head. Seems to be fizzing away. Fizzing away. Decent carbonation seems to be streaming up. I'd say it's probably about a medium carbonation just by the look. It's got that kind of hazy gold to orange coloration for the brew. And the head is dying right down. The aromas. All right, don't know how to explain. There is a Belgian yeast presence right up front. Bit of like a breadiness. Bit of like an orange peel type aroma. The yeast smell, that Belgian yeast smell. How to explain it? It's got like an herbally, spicy, earthy tone to it. All right, let's just go in for the flavors now. So, cheers.
Cheers, Bumpy.
Cheers to you.
Yeah, medium body on this one. Carbonation is actually a little bit higher up than medium, higher side of medium on it. Picking up a lot of that kind of, like I said, with like what I believe is the Belgian yeast, is it's kind of got that kind of herbally, zesty spice type tones coming through. A little bit of like a bread note, a little bit of like a wheat note in here as well. Orange zest doesn't really come through all that much in the flavor like it was in the aromas. I just got a tad bit of an alcohol note on that swig at 7%. That's kind of weird. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm getting out of this. It's kind of the wheat, bread, herbal, zesty spice, kind of earthy toned. Bitterness coming in now as well. Not too high up there, but it's noticeable at this point. Yeah, and then that slight bit of an alcohol hit. Be back with my scoring when I can figure this one out.
Okay, well, I can see he's a little perplexed by that one. Someone asked about Schlitz Ice. Yes, I have had it. I had a whole 6-pack. I bought this in the mid-90s. I'll just highlight myself for a moment. This is no longer being produced, but I bought it in Mobile, Alabama in the mid-90s. So nothing remarkable, but it was, nothing bad. I didn't think it had a bad taste. There is still there's still one in production at this time, and it's called Schlitz Bull Ice. But I bought this in Florida. It's not sold in Louisiana. This one's really strong. Look at the ABV on it. Can you imagine drinking a whole quart of 8.2%? Oh, not a good idea. Better share it. Now, I'm just muting for the background noise. James, yeah, Bull Ice, that is. Woo. Now, James gave his scotch a 95, and I agree with that. I think that Buchanan's is a delight. It's one of my favorites so far, and you're right, man, very dangerous. It's better when the alcohol is present because it gives you some warning signs. It's like some signposts saying cool it, watch it. But when they don't have the alcohol pickup, you'll fool yourself and say, oh yeah, nothing to it. This stuff's, and then bam, then you say, oh, I'm so sorry I tried to do this. So yeah, it's better. Less is more. You know, usually less is more. You know what I'm saying? Less and have more fun instead of drinking more and having less fun and more illness. You know what I mean? But I'm going to score this. I said this at the very beginning. I don't like these kind of things. If I never drank it again for the rest of my life, it would be too soon. All right. Not for me. But on the other hand, it has some interesting lime and raspberry, but the predominant flavor, like I said, is Keystone Light, which if it was just Keystone Light on its own, I'd be kind of pleased with it. Although that's too thin for me. I'd rather Keystone Ice, which has nice, richer flavor and bigger body, nicer, heavier body. But for what this is, a flavored light beer, I can't rip it apart and talk bad about it because I think they did it right and they balanced it out perfectly. So to be fair, even though I'd never want to drink it again, I'll still give it a 93. It's an A beer if you like to play around in that category. But I'll do my beer hobby in a different area. So anyway, so that's 2 scores down. Now we move on to Beer Man's score, his mild dark beer.
All right. Yeah, so the milk chocolate with the dry is kind of a dry baker's chocolate feel or finish. So it starts out with milk chocolate, kind of goes into this espresso baker's chocolate kind of dryness. Kind of nice actually. It was very, very tolerable, very easy to drink. Felt very nice on the mouth, very velvety. I really liked how it felt. It was more of a desserty style sessionable porter, I guess if you want to call it that, being that it had the chocolate additive and stuff like that in there. But if you like porters and this is something you like, I mean, you're definitely gonna like this. Very, very nice beer though. For the 5%, it came off like a 6+. I mean, it didn't have the alcohol, but it really did feel like it had a stronger feel to it. I scored this at a 94 out of 100. I thought it was an excellent beer. I would totally get this again. I definitely love porters and stouts and the darker side of life, if you want to call it that. I do like those. So good beer. Right on. Cheers.
So I said 93 and James said 95. You're saying 94, right?
94. Yep.
So we got 93, 94, 95. Okay. Yep. That means Michael has to give it either 92 or 96. I'm just joking. Okay, Michael.
Okay, I'm going way lower. I'm going to give this a 75, which in my rating is like a C+.
I would just call that a C myself, but
or C, a straight C. If I'm looking for positive things about it, it does have lacing. So that's always seems crafty in a way. So the lacing is nice and the head retention is good. And when I'm drinking it, the foam itself that you're drinking from the head feels good, but the beer itself tastes crappy. You know, it's almost like it's an off IPA taste. And if they're trying to do, they're either using cheap hops or they're using hops which are not generally IPA hops. So they're not achieving what you'd want to achieve in a session IPA, in my opinion. I would like somebody else to be able to get this to see if I'm completely off base on it, because mine's just my opinion. The carbonation is okay also if you're looking for another positive thing. So there has to be a reason that it got a C instead of a D or an F. So it did get a C. It has some things going for it. But the reason it has to drop a couple of points off what you guys are doing is it would have to taste like an IPA in order to get an A, and it does not. It's almost like an under-fledged pale ale more than an IPA.
And what do I always say? What do I always say? You got to do what? You got to do what?
Tell it like you see it.
Call them like you see them.
Call it as you see it. Call it as you see it.
I've never seen that at Polish Market. I've never seen that Zwick IPA before, but I'm not missing anything, I guess.
I mean, I'd like somebody else to try it just to see if I'm on point in my review, but I think I'm being fair. It has some small things that are okay about it, but it's not very IPA like.
A bit of a calibration.
I see Ron Sutton has appeared, and I've added him to my sheet. I know Bumpy's going to give us his rating.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Before Ronald Sutton gives us his presentation, we want Jesse at Bumpy Road Brewing Empire to give us his score. And I know he was a little perplexed about it.
And then I poured more in from the can and got all the chunkies. Got all the chunkies sitting at the bottom there of the glass now. Yeah. And let me tell you, it did not add to the flavor in any special way as far as making it better. Let's see. Score this one. As I was drinking it, I did kind of try a different way of, swishing around my mouth a little bit, chewing it. Not with the yeast in, but just trying to get the air going and, all that, the oxygen in there and swallowing it. You see people drinking in different ways. And I actually was able to pick up on like a slight tangerine type flavor doing it that way. But I mean, the alcohol presence still there, all those other weird, earthy, spicy herbal notes as well. Where to put this? Let's say is that Hoegaarden? I think that's how it's pronounced. Hoegaarden. Their wit beer. I've had that one years and years ago, and I really liked it. I thought it was a well-made, wit Belgian wit beer. And that's kind of what I look forward to with buying different wits. And this one does not have like that coriander spice type stuff going on, with a stronger orange in the orange zest and all that stuff. So this one's definitely not up there where I would have scored like a Hoegaarden. So I have had other wits, and I'm going to give this one an 83 out of 100. Just not, it's not very pleasing to my palate.
So good, but nothing to like.
Yeah, it puts it in the average range. I mean, it does have some of the qualities that you find in the wit. It's not like a Polish IPA where it's really not even an IPA. I don't know, but it's a wit, but it's missing some of its wits.
Yeah, it's half wit. It's a half wit. So it's a half wit. So we have a 75, an 83, a 93, 94, 95. And before we go to Ronald, I have a wine I'm going to review tomorrow. I bought this at Walmart, everybody's favorite mass marketplace. I usually go to Walmart at 7 in the morning because no one else is there. When they go back to opening up at 6, I'll go at 6 in the morning. But this thing here, I didn't know what it was. It was California Pinot Grigio Vintage Crush. I never heard of Vintage Crush in my life. I said, what is this thing? It's a 1.5 liter bottle. And it says it's medium dry. And I didn't know what, it's 13% alcohol. 13%, don't drink too much. So I said, well, I couldn't figure it out. But then I did some trademark research and come to find out it's produced by Sutter Home. Sutter Home is a family-owned company. They make mostly inexpensive wines, but you can buy some of their premier versions that'll cost you a lot more. And it's made for Walmart only. It's one of these house brands that Sutter Home makes for Walmart. They changed the label for some reason, and Walmart wanted to get rid of the older label, so they dropped it down to $5. So I figured $5 for a liter and a half. I don't see the downside there, so I bought it, and I'll be cracking that open tomorrow and doing a solo review to be posted in the future. Now, Dawn Busters tomorrow morning. We've got a product here that's been doing fairly well, but hasn't been standing out, hasn't been running away with any awards. It's George Dickel Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey. I noticed yesterday that it doesn't say straight whiskey. It's just sour mash. It's not straight whiskey. But anyway, aged 3 years, from Tennessee. It's from Tennessee. And this company's been in business since 1870. I bought this for $8.99 a liter. This liter bottle was $8.99, which I thought was a great deal. A very unusually low price, by the way. And then the competitor is Stedman Select from Kentucky. Kentucky Bourbon, as James would say, Bourbon sour mash. And I think the Stedman Select is going to beat the George Dickel very severely, or rather severely. So that's what's coming up on my end of things. Now, I'm going to try to update the comments. We're going to go to Ronald. So here is Ronald.
I'm going to give my last and final review on hams tonight. I know a lot of people will be upset. Yeah. But it's like a metaphor.
I can imagine.
What's that?
I said we'll be heartbroken, as you can imagine.
Yeah, I imagine. Here it is. They're wonderful product. But, I was thinking, and I'm trying to compare it to like my old girlfriends, when I got to take notes or I'll forget. But, when you first started going out dating, you wanted all the varieties, so to speak. You wanted to try all the different brands and go out with all the different kind of girls, redhead, blondes. Well, finally, after that wore off, you finally settled down with one steady girlfriend. And that steady girlfriend, you stuck by you for years. Yeah. Go ahead, 2-3 years, whatever. Well, then something exciting comes along and you say, man, I got to try that out. I got to go see what that's all about. And it was exciting and fun and everything, enjoyable. But then it got kind of old, so you came back to your original love, so to speak. Well, American adjunct lagers, I love them. I love them. And hams is about the best there is. I only find one fault in it. It's too good. You can't find anything better, so why do you want to go out and search for something else? You understand? Why do you want to go out and search for something else? And let's see, what the hell did I say? And then you find out that there was nothing better than the one that you originally liked. So you settle into it, and that's your day-to-day. Go in, go out, just like after you've been married for so long. Your wife's your wife. You can talk to her about anything. You enjoy your company and all that stuff. You don't have to go roam around, try to find something strange. But my score, my final score on hams is pie, because it's infinitely enjoyable. My score is a pie. So there you go, Michael Cormorant. Hams is a pie. So I thank you. If you want to drop me off, I'll stay on. I'll make comments. I might make a short text about a hams or something if somebody comments about it. But it's a wonderful product. I can't harp on Budweiser. I'll always come back to Budweiser. You can only drink strawberry soda so long before you go back to, say, a Mountain Dew or something. you always got to have something different. You know, you can only drink water for so long, but this hams, I just can't believe it. It's a wonderful product. It tastes good. It's made of quality ingredients. It has a head retention like no other. Lacing coming down the glass. It's good day in, day out, every day. You know, it's like I'm married to it, just like my wife. I've been married for 38 years, people. 38 years. You know, I got a grandson that's 18 years old. Hey, they're going to have football season in Ohio. Wow. Our governor, the mighty Kumbaya, he's going to let him play football. Yeah. Ohio
Not
State.
at the Ohio State. Not at the Ohio State. Not at the Ohio University.
State, no, that was the Big Ten. The Big Ten ruled on it. That wasn't our governor. The Big Ten ruled on it. UConn was the first people to jump. You know, I hate it. I love sports. You know, I gamble a lot. Steubenville is known for gambling. Hell, if you weren't in on a college parlay on a Saturday afternoon, what the hell did you have a reason to go to the bar for? You know, you went there. Come on. I'm going to score a touchdown. Come on. You know, stop that son of a gun. That's what we do. That's what we do.
I'll let you come back on here when you finish doing that division problem. You take 22 divided by
down there where Rod Day graduated, WVU. Hell, it's not an hour and 15 minutes away from me. They're playing in the Big 12, and they joined the Big 12. Now they got to fly all the way out to like Texas and shit. Kansas,
yeah, I know.
Texas.
Now let's see. 22.
I'm done.
Okay. 22 divided by 7 is 3.1428571. And it keeps going, and this calculator can't get it finished. So when you finish it,
it's infinitely enjoyable. Infinitely enjoyable. I hope they never quit making it. I'll drink it till the day I die. Put a 6-pack, you know, in my coffin or whatever, but I ain't going to be in no coffin. Ain't no way in the world.
Formaldehyde with hams.
Yeah, you won't.
Huh?
You won't need it in the coffin. All right.
I'm cured.
So now,
James Freeman, I'm cured just like a hams. That hams has cured me.
No,
I feel great. I feel wonderful. I ain't got no problems in the world. I hope you're feeling well too, my man.
Watch those matches, because you know it could just go poof. Too much fumes.
Yeah.
Too much. You don't want to blow up the neighborhood. All right. But I kid. Cured and pickled. Now, and he loves those cools, don't you?
Cool milds. Blues, not the greens. The greens will hurt you.
Mild.
These are blues.
Yeah. The blues, the milds.
Yeah.
All right. Now, moving on. James, do you have any last comments? I know he's going to close this out with a musical selection at the end.
All I got to say is tomorrow morning, George Dickel will be in a pickle. And
it will be.
You do Doombusters. And I love the darkness and when you rub the corners of your eyes. That's a great shtick. It's a good shtick. Ronald Sutton, are you up late Fridays?
Yeah, you know, it depends on if I got to pull a shift on a Saturday or not.
I go live around 10 p.m. On the YouTube channel. 10 or 10:30 p.m. I go live.
Well, are you under James P. Madonna or are you under something else?
Forget about James P. Madonna. I'm under Progressive Discussions.
I got that wrote down. I have that wrote down, James.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Thomas Meadow 75 often joins. Damian Owens, you know.
I've watched it before, but sometimes I got like family stuff I got to do on Friday evenings. You know, it's
yeah. Well, this is not a family show, so you know you might enjoy it.
Yeah,
you might enjoy.
I enjoy everything. You know, what the hell's on TV? You gonna watch a Democratic convention? You know, look at a bunch of hypocrites.
I turned that off. That was boring. Everybody was so nice. Big smiles, big Cheshire cat. I mean, everybody
They got the answer for everything, but never write down like their policy or their agenda to tell you what the hell they're going to do.
I wanted to see venom. I wanted to see venomous politicians.
How about Ocasio-Cortez or whatever the hell her name is? She didn't even marry Joe Biden. She dominated Bernie Sanders. What the hell is that?
Moving on to Gear Man.
Yeah.
Do you have any upcoming excitement?
No, just I like to follow up with everyone and get on Multi Mondays and your show and Food Friday, this that. But I do my Tuesday beer and cheese at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern, and my review and I do a beer review and a recipe for an all grain batch on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. So yeah, if you want to follow me there. Cheers. Thank you so much, man.
Tune in, and I enjoy your shows. I enjoy that beer pairing.
Hey, man, you're great.
Really I like that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man.
I really do.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Did you grow up out there on the West Coast, or were you from back here?
I'm from California. Yeah. To some, unfortunately. But, yeah, I lived in North Carolina for about 9 years, so that I got a little bit of South in me to some degree. But sort of South. Mid-South.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Jess,
I hope you enjoy your life.
Bumpy Road.
That's an interesting place out
Bumpy
there.
Road.
I read a lot about the Indians that were out on the coast that foraged for the clams and shellfish.
Yeah.
Now, Bumpy Road, do you have any, I'm sorry, Michael, do you have any comments to make?
Stout Sunday on John and Illy's channel, 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time every week. I'm kind of like a co-host. Try to come on every week for that. Also, Multi Monday with Bumpy. I try to make that as well. And, of course, Wildcard Wednesday, except the first week of the month, with some kind of specialty theme, which I'm not sure if you've announced it for September or not, but you can when you know it.
Yes, I have. It's Oktoberfest beers.
Okay.
Now, I know Bumpy Road has some interesting upcoming items to tell us about.
Mm-hmm. And what you just said definitely made my decision a little easier right now. So, Multi Monday, the poll, I'm going to go ahead and call it nobody's voted for a while. So, it ended with a tie between Flanders Reds and Oktoberfest / Marzens. Since Oktoberfest is going to be coming right up on this channel. And then we still have plenty of time before, Oktoberfest is over. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Flanders Red this upcoming Multi Monday.
All right.
That one's been on. The Flanders Red has been on the poll like the past 3 weeks, and nobody's voted it. So,
Dude,
I don't know if I can find one, but I'll be looking around. I'll look around. Yeah. I used to be able to get them. Well, I never got them too easily, but let's see what the private chat says.
I was going to say Jay Rodenbach makes a couple of Flanders Reds. I'm not sure if they're in Louisiana or not.
No, I don't suppose they are. I don't think I've seen them. Flanders Red, they used to sell them at Mathern's, but nobody bought them except for me. I don't think anybody ever bought the doggone things, and it was just like gone with the wind, more or less.
Yeah, the ones I get, I mean, they've been sitting on the shelves for quite a while. So, but they're still there. They leave them there. So, I bought a few of them.
That's actually a style of beer. I always thought Flanders was like a brand name or something. Is that a style of beer?
Flanders.
It's a region in Belgium.
It's a Flemish Red, Flanders Red. Flanders sounds better than Flemish. Flemish
Yeah.
sounds very throaty.
Good for you. Here's to you. I hope you have a good tournament. I just never heard of it.
It's going to probably mostly Belgian beer too, because I don't think there are too many American craft attempts at Flemish red. From what I know,
There was only one that
Yes,
I've had. It was by a home brewer that won or was in the competition thing with the Sam Adams. When they would put the home brewers thing, they'd all go together, and there was a pack of 3 beers I had one time, and they had a Flanders or a Flemish red in that.
Okay. I think I've seen a handful here and there. But it's not too common, Bumpy. You may not have the huge crowd you had this last week, but that's okay. That's okay.
What'd you do? Get a new system? You got 10 people on now? You had 9.
I had a little help. I had a little help from a friend.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. It got a little jarbled
Oh,
now
like
and
the
then, but it
Beatles.
turned out good. It was okay.
Ringo Starr. Yeah, Monk's Cafe. That's the one I was thinking of, John, but I don't know where to find it these days. Now, James P. Madonna is going to close us out with one of his musical presentations, and then we're going to be off the air, and that's it. And I'm going to be back tomorrow.
Right.
Arr! You have just
Beatty.
on Wildcard Wednesday pirate ship. Walk the plank. Sharks or no sharks? Walk the plank.
I wish I could use virtual technology to make some people walk the plank, like if I could go into space and no, that's terrible. I shouldn't say that.
I could picture you. I could picture Ronald J. Theriot commanding his own starship, and Ronald Sutton can be the science officer. Nah, forget it. Forget about it.
If I had a starship, it would either be called the Enterprise or Reliant. Now,
The Crawdad.
yeah, the Crawdad.
What's his
The
Crawdad?
Reliant. I either be the Reliant or the Enterprise. All right. Well, thanks for everybody joining and watching. It was a great hangout. We had some.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate you having us on. Thank you very much.
Jay,
What that
thank
guy said.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And we had a whole hum beer, a marginally good beer, 3 most excellent beers, and one that was so good you can't even complete the division problem because it goes on to infinity.
Oh, like a